Hello guys, and welcome back to another video of me, Silver7, and today my friends, we are back inside of Terraria, and this is my 1.4 world. You may know this from my 1.4 series. So I'm actually not in here today playing through my 1.4 series. Instead, what I am actually doing is I'm going to be having a look at some of the new items that are introduced or have been introduced in the 1.4 update. So today my friends, we have so many different items to have a look at. We're also going to be looking at the DPS of each of these items. So first of all, let's just go ahead and grab ourselves this superstar shooter and let's take out this harpy. Bang. Oh, 177 damage per second. Ouch. Now let's go ahead and just see if this is automatic. Oh yeah, it's automatic. That is crazy. Look how much damage that is doing per second. That is 2,000 damage per second as it peaks, and it stops at 1,800. That is insane. So remember, the weapons that I'm showing you today, I don't have a full class for. I do have the ranger class, so that might be why I'm getting quite a good output with this. So what I'll do, I'll take off my armor because I'll make it fair by taking off my armor and literally just shooting without armor. So let's see what it does without armor. Okay, without armor it still does quite a lot of damage. It gets to about 1,000, which is still going to instant kill those unicorns in the corruption in the crimson. Nope, that's not the right one. In the hollow. So yeah, it's pretty insane. That is definitely pretty cool. I like that. So if you don't know, this is the upgrade to the star cannon, which I really do like indeed. So let's get rid of you. Get out of here. What do you want to do here? It's because of where I've built this place all the way up into the sky. So the harpies now decided, do you know what? We want to move in with Super Fudge. So, you know, not really something I agree with, but they wanted to do that. So we also have another item, and it comes in the form of the Terra Prisma, which is a summoner weapon, and it does 111 summon damage. So we can just keep summoning that, and that is going to fly around and do quite a bit of damage. But hang on a minute, can we we'll see if we can get Harpy near us, because that's what we're going to need. Harpies, where are you? When we want you, you're not here, but anytime when I don't want you, you're always around. So harpies, I'm just waiting for you. I guess what we'll do, oh, there we go. I was going to say we'll wait a second, but that does about 200 damage per second, and that's pretty cool. Definitely not as strong as the likes of my dragon. 800 max damage, so that's pretty cool. He does loads of damage as he goes through them. So yeah, he's pretty mad. I wouldn't want to mess with him. I know that you guys are probably screaming at the screen, that is the Zenith sword. Yes, this is the Zenith sword. I'm not going to check it out or try it out, but look at that. It is so cool. It does so much damage as well. Actually, do you know what? Screw it. We're going to do it. Look at this damage. 16,000 DPS. Wow. It does take a lot to craft it, so it should definitely do a lot of damage. This takes all of the most amazing swords in the game, such as the Fiery Greatsword, the Demonic Horseman's Blade, I mean. It takes the Terror Blade, which also takes a lot to get, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. Because look at that damage. That is literally doing 16,000. But right there, it's doing a little bit less. But imagine if I had the right class for this loadout. Just imagine how much damage this would be doing. Imagine if I had a melee character loadout, like a warrior loadout. This would do so much damage. Like, thinking about it, at the moment I'm getting 16,000. I probably could get about 30,000 from this, and then there's probably a bunch of accessories you could add that would make this do even more than that. So yeah, pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Definitely one of my favorite swords, one of the highlights of this update for me in terms of weapons. The next one is a summoner whip, which you get from the Empress of Light. So let's go ahead and see what this does. Yep, okay, and if we just spam it, how much damage does it do? So it can go up to about 1,000, max 1,000, but if we just do it once, the base damage is about 400, which is very nice. Now we have a bow. This one is the Blood Rain bow. I don't know what point in the game you get this, but you shoot up, and as you can see, it shoots blood, all the way from the sky. So it's blood rain. And I would imagine this is like either early hard mode or sometime like before you go into hard mode. I'd hope so, because it's quite bad, to be honest. It only gets 100 damage per second, and it probably does increase actually if you have a full set of armor. So let's see what it does if you have a full set of range armor, because I can show that. So yeah, it goes up to about 200, about maximum 300 I would say, which is okay, but it's obviously not the greatest. So we can go ahead and put that back. Definitely not my favorite item. Then we also have this flaming mace. This is a pre-hard mode weapon, I believe. And as you can see, it does quite a bit of damage for a pre-hard mode weapon. It does 95 damage, which is very nice indeed. Actually, do you know what? You can spin it, and then if you let it go, it pierces many enemies. And once again, it does 94 damage. Very nice. So a sword, yes. What do we have here? This is the Durandal. I'm not even sure if that's how you pronounce it. Oh, it's not a sword. It is literally a summoner weapon, and it's another whip, because obviously the whips are the new introduction of weapon, or a new type of weapon that's been introduced in this update. Literally, sorry if I'm making no sense in my sentences. I'm awful at that. But 258 isn't bad. Don't know when you get this though, once again, because I haven't checked all of these drops. 1.4 is still very new to me, and if you guys are wondering how I got these items, then I did get these from the 1.4 all items world, which I will have a link to that video on the screen or down in the description. So if you guys want to go and check out that, and you can go get yourself an all items world. But anyways, let's go and get ourselves the next thing. So the next one is a hallowed jousting lance. So yeah, lances are new as well, because I don't think I've ever seen a lance in Terraria beforehand. And as you can see, that does 150 base damage. So, and it doesn't seem to go any higher than that, but it does penetrate quite a few enemies, which is cool. So it has a long penetration value. We also have the Gladius, is that it? The Gladius? I'm not even sure how you say that once again. But as you can see, it doesn't do a lot of damage. It only really peaks about 50 and then goes up to, well, it peaks up to about 80, but it stays at its base damage of like 50, so not too good. We got the Terraria, which is, I can't remember, there is a sword that looks a bit like this in the game, but I can't remember what it's called. However, look at the amount of damage it's doing. For something so tiny, it is actually managing to do about 300 damage. Its base damage is about somewhere between 150 and 200. But if you're just like spamming it, you can see that's doing a lot of damage. So I reckon you could do, say that's every 5 seconds you make about 1,000 damage with it. It's pretty cool if you think about it like that, but at the same time it is a very weak weapon. Now we have another whip called the Snap Form. I think this is dropped by Plantera, but I could be wrong. So let's go ahead and have a look. What does this do? Yep, it does 86 to 80. I think it does about 90 at its peak in terms of damage per second. Not too good. Now we have another weapon from the Empress of Light, and it is this one. It's called the Starlight, and as you can see, that is doing 3,000 damage at its max. And if we want to see base damage, then it does about 1,500. Lowest, I would say 1,000. Pretty cool. Now we have another weapon from the Empress of Light, which is called the Eventide. The Eventide. This is a new bow, and as you can see, I definitely want this bow. Look at that damage. Look at that. 2,000 FPS. 2,000 FPS. DPS. FPS? What am I on about? 188 damage per second with this new shotgun. This is called the quad barrel shotgun. As you can see, it is shooting a range of 4, and it is only consuming one load of ammo, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's alright, but it doesn't do too much damage, so it's definitely not something I'm gonna go out of my way to get too much. We have the Cool Whip, which, if you've watched Family Guy, feels a bit like a reference to that Cool Whip, where Stewie couldn't say Cool Whip. But yeah, anyways, that's that. We have the Firecracker, which is dropped by the Wall of Flesh, and if we go ahead and use it, we are getting a total of 200 damage per second, and at a lowest, we're getting about 80. So it's not too great, doesn't do the most damage out of all these weapons. So if I had to choose some favorite weapons out of this slot, I would definitely choose the Zenith, as it does so much damage and I absolutely love it. So there's that one, and then obviously there was this super star shooter, which done quite a bit of damage too, and it just looks beautiful as well. And yes, there's so many different weapons. This isn't actually the only lot of weapons that there is. There are some more. These are some staffs and some summoner weapons. They also brought back the Nintendo weapon, which was originally exclusive to the DS, and I think they removed it at some point, and I think they might have brought it in 1.3 and then removed it. I'm not really too sure. I don't remember the history behind this gun, but as you can see, it does about 500 damage per second, which is very nice. Then you've got this mace, which is the standard mace, which you find inside of chests, down in like the cavern layers. We've got a whole bunch of other things. We've got, oh yeah, look at this. I haven't shown you this. This is absolutely awesome. So we've got some staffs. I'll show you the staffs, the phase blades, and I'll even show you the jousting. So this is a jousting weapon, very nice. As you can see, loads of damage there. I won't be go on too much about these ones because they were still very cool, but I didn't really think anything too much of them. But yeah, pretty awesome. So as you can see, this guitar uses up mana. It's a magic weapon, does a lot of damage, going up to about 2,000. Then we have the staff, which, yeah, only does 30 damage. So I actually mixed this one up. This one was supposed to be shown today, but the rest of them were a little bit rubbish. So that's why I decided I was going to put them in the chest, show you them, tell you they exist, but not actually take them out one by one and actually have a look at them. I wanted to show you guys something that's absolutely insane. So the Celebration Mark II, which I believe is to be dropped by the Moon Lord, is absolutely insane and is technically a griefer's dream. So yeah, as you can see, this does a lot of structural damage. Therefore, this weapon for me is not something I would personally go out my way to grind for, as I wouldn't really want to destroy my house if I was fighting bosses. I know that you could say, well, why don't you go to the other side of the world? But in a way, that's effort, and I also wouldn't want to grief my world. And I do feel like this weapon is a griefer's dream, because just look how fast it does damage things. Now, I get it that it's an end game weapon, so it does make sense that it does such damage, but I would also more or less say that this is more of a mining weapon, as it does seem to do so much damage to the point that you literally can mine with it rather than having to use your pickaxe. I managed to get to Hal in about 5 seconds, literally. But anyways, guys, that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, then please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you found out anything new. Also, if you haven't already, guys, please go and subscribe to my Discord server. In other words, go to the link down below and join the Discord so you can be updated on all of the latest and greatest Terraria news and any of my greatest uploads that are coming to the channel. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in my next video.